rivalry for the frickin' ages. You know, you shouldn't let anybody ruin your day. It's your day. Ruin it by expecting this goddamn power play to score on the 31st ranked penalty kill. Seriously, you go 0 for 4 against the second worst penalty kill unit in the league on a guy who's on the doorstep of 50 goals. What are you doing? But I'll tell you what you Bruins fans should be doing. You should be hugging it out! Because that is a 4-2 victory over the Montreal Canadiens. Welcome back to Into the Den, everybody. I gotta say, this was one of the most fun games that the Bruins have played all season, but for all of the wrong reasons. Although, it was partially one of the most fun games we've played all season, and one of the most frustrating. So let's get right into it. Now let's see. How did the Leafs do today? Well, that's not fun. So, despite the fact that the Bruins won today, we do not clinch the top spot in the Atlantic. And honestly, Tampa was out of the running. I think Tampa was already out of the running for top spot in the Atlantic. But considering the fact that they lost 7-2 to Ottawa, they're also out of it, I think. Like, how do you manage this? I know Ottawa's going to be good, but they're going to be good next season. That's next season. That's not this season. That's next season. Doesn't matter. That's a completely different game. Let's talk about this game. First of all, like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get that out of the way right quick. Carlo is going to be out of the lineup for today. He is part of the load management casualty. Orlov is going to be taking his spot. Forward, he's still out for the rest of the season. Unfortunate. Now, puck drops. Bruins out of the gate look pretty slow. They don't look too interesting. Habs, the Canadiens look like they've got the momentum pretty early. And then Tyler Bertuzzi. Okay, you know that meme of the kid who got a question right on a test and the teacher said, "I don't know how, but you used the wrong formula and got the right answer." I don't think that Tyler Bertuzzi expected his first goal to be from behind the net, going off of the back of the leg of a defenseman, and then off of Jake Allen's back, or rather the back of his leg blocker. I don't think he expected that to be his first goal as a Bruin. But hey, I guess it's a good goal. Yay. Tape it up, buddy. And we almost get a second goal. Pretty quickly. By a certain AJ Greer, and we will come back to him later on. Later on this period, he gets a breakaway that gets stopped by a Jake Allen. But shortly thereafter, the chippiness starts to get in, and this is it gets really testy between the two teams. This didn't. Even though the Bruins are the cream of the crop, the cream of the crop of the entire NHL, and the Habs somehow have not been eliminated from playoff contention. They're still near the bottom. This absolutely had all of the energy of a good old fashioned frickin' an original six Bruins versus Habs matchup. And it all starts with Patrice Bergeron pretty low, and Rem Pitlick just is coming in and just shoulder checking him, shoulder to visor to the ground. And somehow, even though it is far away from the puck. The puck is pretty much all the way out of the Habs zone at this point. This hit still happens. That's not called interference. And Brad Marchand, and understandably, he takes him to task and just throws him to the ground. And Marchand ends up with the instigator penalty for this. I completely understand why Marchand got the instigator penalty on this. It's because, I mean, if there's no whistle, I guess I don't know. But no, screw that. No. That is no. Oh, screw what I said about I can understand the instigator penalty. No, there should have been an interference penalty on that Rem Pitlick hit, and there wasn't. But top penalty kill unit in the league versus the fourth worst power play unit in the league, number 29 in the league, and just a little and less than a minute later, Mike Matheson ends up going for holding the stick on, and I think it's Charlie McAvoy, which, by the way, trapping the stick underneath your arm needs to be called more. Call that as holding the stick more often, refs. I know you aren't really good at your job in the first place, but you need to do it more. Anyway, after Marchand's penalty ends, the Bruins get 35 seconds of power play as the 12th best power play unit in the league versus the 31st best penalty kill unit. Again, the second worst penalty kill unit in the entire league. And you go 0 for 4 on power play against them. I thought we were turning a corner, guys. I really thought we were turning a corner when we scored on the power play 3 games in a row. But you got me. You boys got me. You made me think that we could be competent on the frickin' power play. Anyway, that ends. And not long afterwards, Clifton ends up going for interference. And Habs get a pretty good power play, but it doesn't go anywhere that matters. And pretty much right after it ends, Jake DeBrusk bursting through the neutral zone. Two Habs defensemen just crash into each other, and he just goes right to goal and pots it right past Jake Allen. 2-0 Bruins. That is what we love to see. Then, of course, Jake Evans gives Swayman a little bit of a snowstorm and a giant amount of just ensues in front of the net. It results in Evans and McAvoy both going for roughing, but Bruins end up on the power play because Evans also ended up going for slashing. I don't know where he slashed, but honestly, doesn't matter because the Bruins don't score on it. But now we got to talk about the incident. A.J. Greer. Before a face-off, he and Mike Hoffman are getting chippy. Hoffman is tapping his stick at him. Greer is going back. They're pretty much going tit for tat on instigation, and Hoffman just sets Greer off in a way that makes him cross-check him right in the face. Play hasn't even started, and now Greer is going to the box for 5 minutes, and he's being assessed a game misconduct. So he's not even going to the box. He is out of the game for the rest of the game, and the Bruins are, and not only that, the Bruins are shorthanded for the next 5 minutes, and if they get scored on, the power play does not end. And excuse me. After this, and of course the Bruins end up getting scored on during this major penalty just before the period ends with 18 seconds left. Kovacevic from pretty much the blue line and passes diagonally to frickin' passes diagonally to Nick Suzuki. Suzuki's pretty much in Pasternak's spot, and Swayman can't really get to it fast enough to cut the lead to 1. But AJ Greer. No. I'm all for violence in hockey. I do not like the fact that the QMJHL got rid of fighting. But come on, man. You cannot do that. I don't care what he said to you. I don't care how much he was instigating you. You do not cross-check a man in the frickin' face. But I'm going to... but we don't know if this is going to be a suspension or a fine. More than likely, it's going to be a fine, and because it didn't look like Hoffman was seriously injured. Hoffman was out on the ice a little bit later, but still, if this ends up being a suspension, then honestly, I don't mind it. Why are you cheering for our players to get suspended? Here's the thing: AJ Greer has pretty much proven himself to be the most expendable piece on this roster at this point. I hate to say that. I hate to say that anybody on this roster is expendable, but out of all the boys on that shirt, out of all the boys on this shirt that is now on the Bruins Pro Shop for $40 for this frickin' shirt.
I'm not gonna lie, this is the most enjoyable Bruins team I've ever seen, so honestly I wouldn't mind paying $40 for that shirt.
Out of all the players on this shirt, Bergie, Marshy, Krejci, Pasta, Chucky, Brando, JD, Grizzy, CC, Cliffy, Freddie, Halsey, Forbes, Fliggy, Nosy, Always Swade, Lindy, Zebo, Pat, Greersy, Locks, Garney, Orly, and Bert. Greersy, I hate to say it, but you are the weakest link, or rather the closest thing to a weak link. I think that honestly, AJ Greer, he does well as an enforcer role, but come on. Would this team really benefit from him being on the ice more than having Jacob Lauko on the ice? Tell me right now. Tell me right now that you would rather have AJ Greer on the ice than Jacob Lauko. I dare you. Tell me right now. And I really want to say something to Jim Montgomery about this, and so I will. Play Lauko more. Anyway, second period starts. Bruins kill the rest of the penalty, and just as the penalty is dying, the puck chips up over Swayman, and it goes kind of foobar. The Bruins defense end up pinning it against Swayman. He makes the glove save. Whew. I legitimately thought that we were gonna get tied up there. Anyway, the game continues to get even more chippy. Nick Pizzetta ends up on the floor after the Bruin after I think it's Clifton who pushes him to the ground. He's just staying there. Like, at this point, it's a 5-on-4 because Pizzetta is just staying there. I think he's trying to sell us something. And tonight, I'm not a consumerist.
She says after just saying that she would spend $40 on a goddamn t-shirt.
I don't want anything that Nick Pizzetta is trying to sell. And neither do the refs. So the puck goes the other way on basically a 5-on-4. And Pasta Pasta has the puck. He pump fakes and seeks and hits the 5-hole on Jake Allen for a career high 49 goals. 49 goals for this man, and god damn it, what a wonderful player. 3-1 Bruins. Then the Habs take 2 penalties. First, it's Justin Barron going for delay of game, and next it's Mike Matheson for tripping Charlie McAvoy. Both penalties end up dying because of course we let them die. And near the end of the second period, the Habs end up regaining their early game appearance. They are putting the pressure on really well, and they even end up forcing a trip out of Garnet Hathaway. They force us into stupid, unforced to make stupid mistakes. And Mike Matheson from the top of the face-off circles, he passes. He appears to shoot wide, but like everybody on the Habs knew that was a pass right to Kirby Dach, who just was able to. Oh, how do I want to phrase this? Matheson shoots wide, but everybody knew that it was a pass to Kirby Dach. Dach just puts it. Dach just chips it right into the net. Swayman came way too far out. I can see why people would want to put this on Swayman, and honestly, I feel like, come on, dude, you should have been able to have that one, but 3-2. Anyway, we go into the third period. Swayman makes some pretty good saves. It was pretty early on. Justin Barron again goes to the box, this time for high sticking, and the Habs kill. Okay. We get the news from Jack and Andy that AJ Greer could get suspended, but that bad news is soon turned over to good news, because Pasta, with the amazing entry, one of the best zone entries I've seen this man make in a while. He just bursts right through. Everybody's left in his dust. He makes some insane moves. He almost scores right there. He almost gets his 50th there. Jake Allen really did not want to let Pasta get his 50th. He was saving pretty much everything after that. He was saving pretty much everything after that 49th. The puck gets pinned against the boards for a bit, and then it squirts out to Connor Clifton, who's right there at the blue line to pass it up to Krejci. Krejci passes through the passes right past Jake Allen. He burns, incinerates frickin' Rem Pitlick, and he backhands it for the 4-2 winner. A little bit later, Mike Matheson ends up leveling Pasternak to just bully the puck out of him. He runs through the neutral zone. He spins past Jacob Zaboral, who honestly had a pretty good game. I think that Zaboral had a pretty nice game tonight. He almost scores on Swayman. He almost scores, but he doesn't. He just goes way too far wide, and he doesn't get it. And then we get to the infamous Ford F-150 Final Five. And honestly, this might be one of the funniest Final Fives we've had all season. And we have Denis Gurianov missing on a completely open look, like Swayman way overcommitted to the front, and Gurianov just misses. Is like remember that time when freaking Pasta had a wide open look against the Islanders in the playoffs, and he missed it, and he just fell onto the ice like, ugh! Yeah, that was basically this, but instead of the play ending up dead afterwards, his play still went on, and Gurianov didn't have time to feel sorry for himself. Not only that, when the Bruins had the puck in their own zone for quite a while, or rather the Habs kept it, the Canadiens kept it in the Bruins zone for quite a while. Harvey Pinard played a really good game. Played a really aggressive game tonight. But Clifton ends up with the puck. He centers it to DeBrusque. He chips it over everybody. We all think that it's going to go in, and it ends up cosplaying as Swayman's attempt. As Swayman's best attempt at the goalie goal. And it just goes like 6 inches wide. But since the Habs are on the case but since the Habs are back and on the case, There's no icing called. Play goes on. Swayman ends up trying it again, but he doesn't get the lift, so it just ends up going right to Mike Hoffman in the neutral zone. It was hilarious. The entirety of TD Garden just erupted, just like whoa, as soon as that happened, and then freaking Marchand is trying to give the puck to Pasternak to score because Marshy wants Pasta to hit 50, but Pasta just it's the puck bullied out of him. It was quite possibly the funniest Final Five this season. And hey, we end up with 2 more points on the books and another win in the books. Fantastic. I don't want to say fantastic game, but hey, 2 points is 2 points, baby. And that is gonna wrap it up for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be back on Saturday when the Bruins take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Take care. 7-2 to Ottawa, man. 7-2 to Ottawa, man. Saturday's gonna be a cakewalk. Make sure to record this for one, and we eventually lose that one. I don't want to jinx it. Frick.